had to start buying stuff online, didn't we? One of the things I had to start buying online was sanitary towels. Give me a word if you're more of a tampon kind of gal. Yeah. Anybody like a sanitary towel? Anybody favour a moon cup? Yeah, a couple of people. I don't think my husband definitely knows what moon cups are, because I mentioned them to him and he went, mooncup.com. It's not a really clever way they found of you being able to send some menstrual blood to your Auntie Jenny for her birthday. Oh, look, it says you can personalise it. Let's write Jenny and all the clots. But I think we're loyal to brands that we like. I could spot the kind of sanitary towel I've always used at 100 yards in a Superdrug. That's the sort of test you should be doing at the fucking optician. I'd have nailed that. Do I know what they're called when I have to type them into a computer? Do I shite? I went on the Boots app and I thought, how many different kinds of sanitary towels can there possibly be? Turns out, a bazillion. And they all have sort of key words on them, like discreet, sensitive, pro-fresh, instant dry, and long. And I thought, yes, I'll have all of those things, please. Turns out it's very much an either-or situation. I thought, who is choosing between these things? Would you like them to be discreet? No, I don't mind if people can tell. Would you like them to be sensitive? No, I don't mind if me fanny's red raw. Would you like them to be pro-fresh? No, I don't mind if I smell of roadkill. Would you like them to be instant dry? No, I prefer to be always wet. I like to feel like I've either just pissed myself or I'm super turned on. Would you like them to be long? No, as long as it covers the spout. I don't know what it's called. I didn't know is that sanitary towels are now sized, and I don't mean the size of the pad itself, I mean the size of the person wearing it. And I thought, oh my God, we as women get judged on so many different things. And now I'm about to be judged on the size of me twat. It's a matter of time before Grazia's telling us what size twat is fashionable next spring. But there is good news for the fatties amongst us, because it is based solely on the size of your thigh gap. Gap, gap, gap. What fucking gap? I've barely got a knee gap. Although there was a moment fairly recently when I thought I might actually have a thigh gap. I walked past a mirror in brown knickers and there was a chink of light between my thighs and I thought, fucking hell, I have got a thigh gap. On closer inspection, it was a bit of silver foil of a two-stick Kit Kat. My thighs are flush against each other as suspected. I once caught a fork between my thighs in a restaurant. I think whatever you've got down there, you shouldn't be judged on the size of it. That's not fair, is it? Having said that, you know how men with big dicks... Give us a cheer. No, don't. You know how men with big dicks sometimes use lube? Do men with small dicks use chalk? It's a good question, isn't it? There's a man the other day said, no talc. Genuinely wasn't expecting somebody to answer. And also, talc has a different image to me, because talc's like that. Why am I thinking chalk like a fucking snooker cue? Blow on that, will you, love, before we get cracking? Just blow on it. But a friend of mine... actually, no, I'm not going to call him that. It's not appropriate. I'm going to call him a male acquaintance. Let's do that. A male acquaintance of mine with whom I have never had a dalliance said to me, you know what? If you lost a couple of stone... I said, the rest of this better be a fucking equation. If you lost a couple of stone, we could probably go out. I said, only if the couple of stone I lost was me fucking head. to the house, I had bits and bobs of furniture, not much, but I had some stuff, and I was trying to work out what would best go where. And I said to me fella, God, I wish I had a tape measure. He said, what do you need a tape measure for? I said, I just want to know if that unit will fit in that alcove. And he said, well, I can sort that out for you. I said, I don't want you to move it. He said, no, I can work it out for you. And I said, have you got a tape measure? He said, no, but I've just got like an instinct about these things. And I thought, fucking instinct. Let's have a look at your instinct, pet. And I said, go on then. So this is genuinely what he did. He went like this. Yeah, that'll fit. I said, is that it? You could at least got your cock out and done 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches. But I was on holiday with my boyfriend last year and he lifted me up like in a romantic fashion, you know, and put me down again, obviously, in a different place. Otherwise that would just be weird, wouldn't it? But I had to guess the way to the lady stall at the fairground. Too fucking much. And when he put me back down, because I'd been reading a bit of Jane Austen on holiday, I came over all sort of... like I needed a fan. And I said, was I very heavy? And he's supposed to follow the lead and say something along the lines of, why, you weighed no more than a dried leaf. Well, he didn't. He went, manageable.
Watching. You know what would be great is if you liked and subscribed. I'm so needy, I'm so sorry. And why not come and see me live? And the tickets are available at sarahmillican.co.uk. Put the kettle on and settle in.